You're sitting there, staring at your phone. No reply, no explanation, no closure, just silence. And somehow, that silence is louder than any argument you've ever had. At first, you tell yourself it's nothing. They're probably busy. They'll text back. But hours turn into days, and something inside you starts to shift. You replay conversations, you question your words, you dissect your tone. You wonder what you did wrong. That's when the silence stops being absence and starts becoming control. Let me explain why. The silent treatment isn't just someone needing space. It's not always emotional processing. Sometimes it's a psychological weapon, a calculated withdrawal of attention, affection, and validation. Because deep down, every human being is wired for connection. We crave acknowledgement. We need to feel seen. So when someone you care about suddenly cuts that off, your brain doesn't register it as neutral. It registers it as a threat. This isn't random, it's psychology. Your mind goes into survival mode. It starts chasing resolution, clarity, relief. And the more you don't get it, the more desperate you become to restore that connection. You text again. You apologize even if you're not sure why. You lower your standards just to end the silence. That's the trap. Here's the truth. The silent treatment flips the power dynamic. It turns the person who withdraws into the one in control, because now they decide when communication resumes. They decide when tension ends. They decide when you get relief. And you're left waiting, analyzing, adjusting yourself to earn back something that should have never been taken away in the first place. That's not love, that's control. Real connection doesn't punish you with absence. It doesn't make you beg for basic communication. But the silent treatment? It teaches you something dangerous. It teaches you that love can be withdrawn at any moment, that peace is conditional, that your emotional safety depends on someone else's mood. And once that belief settles in, you start walking on eggshells. You choose your words carefully. You avoid conflict. You suppress your truth, not because you've grown, but because you're afraid of being shut out again. Let's make this real. You confront them about something small. Maybe they disrespected you. Maybe they crossed a line. Instead of talking it through, they go quiet. No response, no explanation. Hours pass, then a day. You feel the tension building, so you reach out. Hey, are we okay? Still nothing. Now the discomfort becomes unbearable, so you go further. I'm sorry if I upset you, even if you weren't wrong. And suddenly, they reply. Short, casual, as if nothing happened. And just like that, the silence is broken. But something else just happened too. You were trained. Your brain just learned that to restore peace, you have to chase, apologize, and submit. And they learned that silence gives them power. This is how emotional manipulation conditions behavior over time. Not through shouting, not through obvious control, but through absence, through withdrawal, through silence that forces you to come back smaller each time. Let me explain why this is so effective. Silence creates uncertainty, and uncertainty is one of the most uncomfortable psychological states a human can experience. Your brain hates not knowing. It would rather assume the worst than sit in ambiguity, so it fills in the gaps with something I said, with something I did, with something that makes this my fault, even when it's not. And that's how the silent treatment rewires your perception. It makes you internalize blame. It makes you question your worth. It makes you dependent on their response for emotional stability. But here's the shift. The moment you understand this, the dynamic changes. You stop chasing silence. You stop begging for clarity from someone who's using confusion as leverage. You stop apologizing just to restore temporary peace, because now you see it. You see that real strength isn't in breaking the silence, it's in refusing to be controlled by it. A man with mental resilience doesn't collapse in the absence of validation. He doesn't shrink when communication is withdrawn. He observes, he evaluates, and if silence is being used against him, he steps back, not out of ego, but out of self-respect. Because here's the truth most people avoid. Anyone who uses silence to control you is revealing exactly how they handle power. And if you accept it once, you teach them how to treat you forever. So the next time you're sitting there, staring at your phone, waiting for a message that never comes, pause. Don't rush to fix it. Don't rush to chase. Sit in the discomfort. Let them keep their silence. Because the real question isn't, why aren't they responding? The real question is, why are you willing to lose yourself just to be heard? And once you answer that, silence loses its power over you.